Welcome, everybody, to episode 45 of the Triathlon Preview Show.
Hello, everyone.
So we're back again for another interesting weekend. We got some good races on the docket this weekend. Just recapping last week, we had Miami 70.3 and Challenge Aruba.
Yep, and it was Terenzo Bozzone had a good kind of comeback after Kona disappointment, and then Ellie Salthouse took control of that race, which wasn't totally surprising. And Jen Spielderner had a really good race and ended up second. So yeah, it was good, I think.
Yeah, pretty. I would say the bike by Terenzo was pretty. Just out of this world. Like 156-ish.
Yeah, maybe 157 mid or something like that. Yeah. And that's kind of where he won the race. Like he got away, and then, he still ran, I think, 115. So he put together a good race, and now he is going to be racing again tomorrow, which we'll talk about. And then, we did miss, we're such idiots because we didn't preview the Xterra World Championships, which was a huge oversight because that's an awesome race. But sounds like it was really, really tough conditions, like really muddy. And, I think there was a lot of mechanicals out there. It seems like nobody's bike was working by the end of it because it was just caked in mud.
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking for on that we forgot a race. We're looking for feedback, how we're doing and transitioning into this next year, like what we could do better, what we could add or take out. So if anybody has any suggestions, please, tweet at us and let us know how you think the show should improve.
Yeah. And Challenge Aruba was won by the couple, Pierre Bittner and Yvonne Van Lerken. So, it looked like another nice race there in the Caribbean.
All right, let's transition. We'll go in the U.S. first, 70.3 Austin.
All right, well, you give us the course rundown because you're racing it, so you've done the research.
Have I?
So it's what do you know?
Lake swim, 2 transitions. It'll be non-wetsuit legal for the pros, definitely. Bike course is a 1 loop. We'll call it small rollers. I guess people in Texas say there are some hills, but the general people, it's a small rollers. Road conditions are not the best. So some of the downhills, you lose some speed just because you kind of got to ease up because of the road conditions. And then run is 3 laps, basically just out and backs. And then you finish inside the stadium.
Does the stadium smell like cows?
I don't know. I've never raced there.
All right. Let us know next week.
I've heard it's okay. It's like, oh, everybody, it's kind of cool, but I think most people say it kind of sucks. But yeah, We'll see.
Okay.
Should be hot actually though too. It's going to be high 80s, and especially for this time of the year, late October. I don't know how many people are still going to be, still used to that. I think everybody's just over the hot races and just here's another hot race.
Yeah, because usually, there have been years where Austin is actually a pretty kind of cold race, like, really chilly in the mornings. So it's going to be a bit different. That's kind of why I always shied away from it, because like it was really cold. But I think they moved it up a couple weeks too. So
I think it's always been about this time frame, but it might have been a little later a couple years ago. I don't exactly remember. But yeah, I do remember seeing pictures of people at least wearing like sweatshirts to the start line. But I think if you're wearing a sweatshirt to the start line this year, you're going to be in the wrong place.
Oh, all right. Well, that'll, be, it'll be interesting to see how the race goes kind of with different weather. So, you and I were just talking about like the start list. It doesn't look like they were updated at all. And so we don't know a lot of who's showing up. I know Michael Raylert said he's doing the double. I think he was 4th at Miami. I couldn't tell from Joe Gamble's Twitter if he's going to be there. Ben Collins just did Miami. I'm assuming Jared Schumacher is not doing this race because he's in the Bahamas with Alicia. Taylor Reed's doing the double. Sam Appleton's your defending champion, but I think he's seemed to have taken a big break after Worlds. So don't know if he's racing either. So this could be a chance for some people to get a podium and get some cash. I mean, it's not a huge payday, and it's not big points. So I guess we'll see, right?
The guy that finished second last weekend, he's on the start list. I thought Von Berg, right? He finished second in Miami, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and he's good. You know who else is on the list is he's been on the show before, Jason Peterson. And he's a real good solid swimmer and then good bike runner. So he's getting back into racing a little, after a little bit of a layoff. So watch out for him. I think he rode in Wildflower with Jesse and Terenzo. I think for most of the ride, it might have been a little bit too much because that was one of his first halves, but he's definitely strong on the bike.
And then who else did I see?
Reader's on.
Yep. There you go. That's who I was looking for.
That's who you were looking for, yeah. So it's a big list. It's just, I bet you like 50 to 75% are going to show up, right? I mean,
we definitely know some people are not showing up, and then everybody else is kind of just a gamble. But I mean, there's 60 names on the start list. I would say there's going to be, 30 starters maybe at least ish.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And isn't Paul Matthews? Is he? I thought he was doing. No, he's not doing Island House. So he might be there. Another strong person. TJ Tollickson had some knee surgery, or I think sometime this year. So he's on the list. Don't know for sure if he's racing. So yeah, that's all. That's what we know, and it's not much.
Yeah. Female side is kind of some of the same stuff. Like Salthouse is on the list for the double. Spielander.
Jen is racing. I know that. Jeannie Seymour is racing. She's your defending champion. Amanda Stevens on the list, but we know how that goes. Kelly Williamson,
Racing.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't seen. She is.
Yeah.
Okay. Alicia obviously is at the Island House. Ellie's at the Island House. Kate Bevilacqua is preparing for Ultraman World Championship, so I doubt she's racing. And then Melanie McQuaid is doing the double. She did Miami.
Yeah.
All right. So should we move to Mexico, Los Cabos?
Sure, we'll move over there.
All right. So what I know about the course is obviously ocean swim. I think it can get a little bit wavy, and it's iffy on whether it'll be wetsuit or non-wetsuit for the pros. I think sometimes the water is a little chilly. It just depends on the current. I think bike course is rolling, just one lap on a big highway, and then the run course is 2 laps and it's mostly flat, and I'm sure it'll be hot down there. So that's the course.
Yeah, same thing here this weekend. A lot of people that probably are not racing, as far as Tim Don. Paul Ambrose is on this list too, so we're not sure where he's racing. Leon Griffin's not racing. Cameron Dye's on the list, not racing. I mean, I guess technically these guys could race, right? I mean, they could not qualify for Sunday's race.
Yeah, well, that'd be rough.
I mean,
Um, I don't think Andy Potts is racing. I checked his Twitter and he didn't say anything about like usually he posts something like it's race week for Andy Potts, you know. So I didn't see anything. We know that Justin Metzler is going to be there. I don't think Kevin Collington is racing. I haven't seen anything from Matt Sharbat, but you know, he's probably racing. I think he's getting ready for Ironman Arizona. Richie Cunningham, he's been doing a bit more racing. Drew Scott is another strong athlete. So, um, yeah, that you know. Oh, Cody Beals, isn't he on here?
Cody Beals is on here, and I think I saw he was racing.
Yeah, and didn't he finish like on the podium last year? So, um, and I
I
think
think
this is
so.
his last race of the season. So I would look out for him. And another person to look out for is number 20, Steve Mantell. This is his first pro season, but he's kind of been like a perennial like top 10 fighting for like top 8. You know, this might be something where he can get up there because I think a lot of these people, a lot of the really, really strong athletes aren't going to be there. But, not that he's not a strong athlete, he's really strong, but this might be a race where he could like podium or something.
Yeah, it's just so hard to even predict these races because you have no idea he's going to show up, and you just have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, and same on the women's side. Like you and I were talking, like Heather Jackson is definitely not racing. Hella is not. I don't think Carrie Lester is. Melanie McQuaid's in Austin. Sarah Gross got clipped by a car in Kona. She's out. Lauren Goss is at the Island House. Cape of Lacqua, she's on the list. I think Sarah Comito's there. She's on the Maverick Multisport team. Melindy Elmore, I couldn't tell if she's racing or not, but if she is, someone to look out for. Number 60, Sue Hughes. She just won Cozumel at the beginning of October. So definitely someone to look out for. And she's a real strong bike runner. So if heat starts to take people down, she will definitely capitalize on that. Leslie Smith is on this list too. So she could be racing here. She could be racing in Austin, or she could be racing not at all. Kirsty John is back. Did you see she got bit by like a jellyfish in Cozumel? And then
No, I did not.
yeah, so she got bit by a jellyfish, and so I don't think didn't even finish the swim. And so this is kind of her first race back. She got hit by a car, in May, maybe right after Ironman Texas, and had a couple fractures, I think, in her pelvis or something like that. So first race back for her.
Nath is racing, I think we found out.
Yes, that's big. I mean, she hasn't really raced since the last big race I remember her doing is Ironman Texas in 2015.
Yeah, 15.
Yes, and then
she did.
She started Kona and she had the fastest bike split, but she couldn't run. Remember, because she had a broken foot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like if she's on the start line, she's fit and ready to go. So I would look out for her. And then Corinne Abraham did Miami, but she was like not the Corinne Abraham I remember. I don't know if she's been injured and is working her way back or what's going on. So, maybe she's kind of building into the end of the season.
I think these two races, both Austin and Los Cabos, could be very interesting on who just shows up, and you're at different parts of your seasons again, just like last weekend. So it should be interesting from that perspective.
Yeah, it's always like that at the end of the year. You just don't know like really what's going on, who is just cooked from the whole year, who is ready to go, that type of thing. So let's not make predictions because we'll be wrong.
That's fine. Let's move on to Island House then. Second year they're doing it. Slightly different format. Why don't you go over that?
Yeah, so I think the format, I mean, there's no drafting on the bike at all in anything this year, which I think is pretty cool. Like the ITU gals and guys are used to, they probably haven't been on their TT bikes all year. So that kind of is going to be challenging for them. But so the first day, so there's 2 days that you definitely do, and then the top 10 move on to the third day. So first day is a swim, a 750 swim, a 20K bike, and a 5K run, but they're all separated by an hour. So you're literally doing like a 750-meter swim, resting, and then you're doing a bike, and then resting, and then you're doing a run. So I think that's going to be, really interesting to see how people approach. I mean, obviously, I think they'll just cool down and then rest and then warm back up or whatever. But you'll really get to see like where people are, as far as fitness. Like you can't hide in a 20K TT and a 5K run, you know. So, and no one's there around you to help. Like it's just you. You're just racing.
It should be interesting format this year for that first day, on how they're just doing those TTs. And I think that's last year they did something a little different.
I think it was just like a prologue, and it was super short, like a 300-meter swim and like an 8K bike and a 2K run or something like that. So it was like 20 minutes. So this is a bit longer. It's basically a broken sprint triathlon.
Yeah, and that 5K run though, I mean, they're saying it's a TT, and after you've already you worked out hard, then you not long, but you still worked out hard, then you took a rest, and you worked out hard again, and you took another rest, and then now you're going to do this TT, and like it's not like you have all day. It's like you said, an hour. So it should be interesting how they minimize the fatigue between.
There's going to be some lactic acid in that 5K. And then the second day is the enduro. So kind of what they did last year, but last year, like everything was broken. Like I think it was swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run, swim, bike, run. So this year it's swim 750 meters, run 5K, hop on your bike for 40K. Ouch. The first 10K of that bike is going to hurt. Swim 750 and then run 5K again. So that's going to be, and that, I mean, obviously 40K is not 180K, but that seems to favor a little bit kind of the strong cyclists because they have more time to put more time into the weaker cyclists.
And then go jump in the water again.
Yeah, and get a calf cramp. And then Sunday is just a sprint distance non-draft of the top 10.
In which I think last year, and I think they're doing the same thing, they're going to start in reverse order. So the first place person will start at the very end, with the time difference, right? Or sorry, the first place person starts first with the time difference.
Right. It says pursuit format based on general classification time. So that way, exactly who won based on who crosses the line first, because if second place caught up to first place, they've closed the gap, so to speak.
So the winner is basically the total time over the 3 races.
Yep. So, and then, should we talk about men or women first?
Women. Let's start with women.
Okay. Who do you think will not make the top 10?
Ooh, okay. Hold on. How many we got? 1, 2, 3.
I mean, you don't have to name 10 people, but who do you think won't make it?
All right. Lauren Goss.
Ooh.
Alicia Kay. Lauren Brandon. Oh gosh, this is hard. I have like 5 more to go.
Well, you don't have to name them all. Like who just strikes you as not making the top 10? Like you could say 3.
I mean those. Well, since I said 4, we'll go with those 4: Lauren Goss, Heather Wartell, Alicia Kay, and Lauren Brandon.
See, I don't think Miranda's going to make the top 10 because I saw on Instagram, and Instagram always speaks the truth. That's totally facetious. That she hasn't done anything. Like she got back, like she took 2 weeks completely off after Kona. And I just can't imagine that's just going to hurt so bad. Like your lungs, your body is just not ready for that hard effort. That's what I think. So I don't think Marinda will make the top 10. I think Leanda Cave might miss it. And I don't know. Like Lauren Brandon was actually really like she was like 7th or 8th last year in a strong field and not that far behind. Um, so I don't know. I mean, Lauren Goss is like she's a really good short course and she's a good runner, but I think she'll lose some time on the bike. Um, so we'll have to
I'm
see.
picking all ITU ladies. I mean, I mean, you're talking about super, short stuff. I mean, this is what they're bread and butter. So what if it's not draft legal bike? But I don't know.
Well, I think on a 40K bike, I think Gwen Jorgensen is going to lose a lot of time. Like she hasn't been on that bike. She's been focusing a lot on the marathon. She's been doing different stuff. Like she's just not built for time trialing. And I saw a picture of her position. I wasn't super impressed. So
that is true because that is the second day, and that's a 40K TT. Yeah, and
right.
that's true.
Like I think she could lose, to Holly Lawrence, like she could lose multiple minutes, and to Flora Duffy, who's so strong. The one thing with Flora is like, how is she as far as recovery from Maui and then having to fly all the way to the Bahamas and the time change thing? I mean, she'll probably pull it up because she's young and probably will be okay. But like I think Gwen. But you never count Gwen out because last year I thought, with not too many wheels to hang on, she'll get spit out the back on the bike, and she didn't. But and like she still has a good enough run that she can catch up with everybody. But I do think like she's going to be fighting more of an uphill battle.
So do they have 2 5K runs on the enduro?
Yes. So the run is split. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of doesn't help Gwen because she's someone who like makes up more time like the second half of a 10K. There's the swim though, so she'll catch up there too because she's a better swimmer than some of, like Heather Wertel. But it's only a 750 meter swim, so there's only so much time you can make up because it's like what, a 9 or 10 minute swim, so you're not going to make up 3 minutes. They're not going that slow. And I just wonder about people like Alicia Kay. How tired is she? She's done 3 Ironmans this year. Like she obviously showed at St. Anthony's, like she can still race an Olympic distance. She was just behind Sarah Haskins, but I just wonder if the fatigue of the year is going to catch up to her here. And like, can she even go really fast type thing?
True. Yeah.
And then I think that Hella Fredrickson is like on a mission to like prove herself. Like she's never raced Holly Lawrence. Holly came up and like started winning all sorts of 70.3s when Hella was injured. And I don't think Hella likes that. just my, that's my psychological analysis. Like I think Hella wants to freaking crush it because she just hasn't, she wants to be like, yeah, I'm still here, ladies.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Why don't we do 3 people that won't qualify for Sunday and then top 3?
Okay. I can go first. So I think won't qualify for Sunday. I don't think Marinda will. I don't think Magali will. And I don't think Leanda will. And then top 3. I have to do top 3.
Yeah, I'll give you my other 3 first. So I'll do I said Kay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Brandon, and we'll go Goss for my 3.
Did you write those down?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So my podium. Do you have to pick like 1, 2, 3, like what they're actually going to finish, or just people who will be on the podium?
We'll just do people on the podium. So just top 3, you think? No particular order.
Okay. In no particular order, I'm going to say Gwen Jorgensen, Holly Lawrence, and Hella. And I can't believe I didn't pick Flora Duffy.
So I'm going to go Gwen, Duffy, Holly.
Okay. All right. It's yeah, I mean, it's like because I mean, Gwen didn't win Cozumel, so she could get beat and not be on the podium. And like
And
we didn't even talk about Katie Zafiris, like
or Rachel Klammer
yeah,
or
or
Sarah
Lisa
True.
Norden or Sarah True.
I mean, and actually, out of those three, I would say the least confident I am is Gwen, which is
Yeah.
crazy to say.
She's
But
just
like
had,
she's been training for a marathon.
yeah, and I mean, obviously, I'm sure she's not running like 100 miles weeks, and but she's just been doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's like you can't not say her almost,
Yeah.
right?
Well, she won last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to give her the respect, But I mean, and that said, Alicia Kay was 4th last year. So.
And I threw her threw out the first the
right.
2 days. All right, let's move on to the men.
Okay. So,
I mean,
yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And I think just these people are so different. The men are so different to me, I think. Like the women, it's like, okay, you got the short course ladies, you got the long course ladies, and like that, that's it. These men, I feel like, are like completely different types of men. Like, like what I mean is like they each specialize in something completely different to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I was watching Bob Babbitt's interview actually with Cam Dye. And I think he's someone to look out for because he's been focusing on this. I mean, he's still really good at short course, and he was 4th last year. And, like he'll crush those TTs, he will. So, I mean, and I just think he's probably prepared for this because he didn't do 70.3 worlds. He didn't do the Cozumel grand final. Like he didn't do Kona. Like I think he's here to do really well. Like he just doesn't get a lot of shots at this short course type of racing that he loves because they've been eliminated. So I think he tries to take advantage.
I agree. Yes, I agree. You're right. He tries to take advantage of this short course stuff because this is where he's good at. And I feel like the like we were mentioning with Gwen with the runs, like it doesn't really favor the runners, but I feel like that's where his Cam Dye's weakness is in theory, right? His run.
Yes.
Like I feel like Cam Dye can get by on the run for this.
Yeah, he can hold on for a 5K. Yeah. Whereas like when it's a 10K, like someone like Mario Mola, and I think Mario Mola is someone like Gwen who might lose not quite a bit of time, but will lose. I think Mario Mola will lose a lot of minutes to Cam Dye on the cycling portions in these races. I'm sure he's a strong cyclist and everything, but like that TT cycling is a specific discipline and, he just doesn't do it,
Do we get our TT bike off between Sebastian and Lionel and Ben Hoffman, Dreets, Dye?
Dreets, yeah. I mean, that'll be interesting to see. Like, but Dreets is more like well, no, he does mostly. I don't know. Like, does he do German Olympic distances? I don't know. I mean, the guy can definitely cycle. I mean, Lionel for 20K or 40K, he strikes me as like more of a diesel.
Just on and on and on and on. But he puts up some massive power numbers too, though.
Right. But can he put up those massive power numbers for an hour? Like what he's got to be above steady state effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and even Keenley showed that and maybe Lionel just didn't do it, but at Worlds, like Keenley blasted the first part of that bike because he knew he had to catch up. So I don't know. And Keenley just did the Maui race, and so did Ben Hoffman. So how are they feeling after that? Like it was super hard. I'm sure they're sore as heck because they were battling the mud and the hills and all that, plus the travel. You just don't know. Terenzo Bozzone, obviously he's doing pretty well. He just won in Miami. Richard Murray is fired up. But how is he on a TT bike? Like I saw him getting fit, and maybe this was the early stages, but I wasn't like super impressed at the aerodynamics of it, And that's the thing, like if you haven't been on a TT bike like ever, like you can't, it's hard to just suddenly crunch yourself into a super aerodynamic position. You're just not used to that.
Yeah, we have. I mean, Mola. I mean, the grand champion. I mean, I don't see him being strong this weekend for this type of race.
He'll be fast, I think, in the 5Ks.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not a
Yeah.
great swimmer. I mean, comparatively, and I think his bike is a weakness. So he's got to run.
I think it'll be interesting to see like someone like Mola, who's like sometimes in the front pack at ITU and sometimes like second pack. Like, how does he compare to someone like Ben Hoffman or Tim Reed or something like that, like who's front pack in 70.3?
Yes. Yeah.
So and then you got like Joe Malloy and Eric Lagerstrom, they've done a bit more kind of short course, non-draft racing. Joe Malloy won the Oceanside race a couple years ago, and he won Alcatraz, which is a hillier. It's not super TT, but there's a TT section in it. And then Eric has won Alcatraz and Beijing. So they're better crossover, I would say, because they have been on their TT bikes a bit more than say someone like Mario Mola or Richard Murray.
Very true.
And Brett McMahon, he had a really disappointing Kona. Like how's he pulling up? I mean, Tim Don, he didn't finish Kona, so that might be good for him. He was on the podium last year here. So he showed he could still mix it up with the short course guys, but it's non-drafting this time. So
which I think should favor him more.
Yeah. Yeah. But he was an ITU guy for a long time, so he knows that game, and he's a good swimmer, and he knows how to sit in, and he's a solid runner. And you got like someone like Aaron Royal. Like, how does he ride a TT bike? I have no idea. He's a strong cyclist. Like he was riding with, he was always pulling at the front with the Brownlees. So I bet you he's stronger than say Mola.
Yeah, I would agree, and he's definitely a good swimmer. So
yep. I think Mola's just going to have more catching up to do on the 5Ks, and I don't know if he'll have enough real estate.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree.
So, and then, Tim O'Donnell, I don't know, kind of Rennie took a big break. Did he where's his head at for this? Is it just a nice weekend in the Bahamas, or does he really want to get in there and
I don't know where the money breakdown is. I don't think I ever saw it. But it's interesting obviously there's money for a lot of people here, but I wonder what the breakdown is.
Yeah, it's not really on the thing. It just says the overall prize pool is 500,000 with 60,000. Like if you don't finish in the top 10 and go to the final day, do you get zero? Is it like Kona where you get zero?
Sure.
I would hope they would I bet you they throw them like $3,000 or something. Just, still.
Or you get to go to the Bahamas and have fun.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how Lionel does, because at least the swims for him are shorter. They're max 750. So there's only a finite amount of time he can lose.
Yes.
So, he's shown he's a really good runner, 70.3 cyclist, probably the best in the world. But how the short course stuff we just haven't seen from him. So can he get that high end?
All right. Same thing as before.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go first. Who won't make day 3?
Yeah.
Tim O'Donnell. Tim O'Donnell. Barrett Brandon. And that guy from the Netherlands.
All right.
No.
I'm going to go with Leon Griffin, Barrett Brandon, and just because I don't know who this guy is really, the guy from the Netherlands, Van Ergerdam.
Yeah, we apparently suck at research. He's probably like the best triathlete the Netherlands has ever seen.
Probably.
Okay, my people who I think will be on the podium in no particular order. I think Richard Murray will be on the podium. I think Cam Dye will be on the podium. And I think Mola.
Interesting. I am going with Sanders.
Who?
Sebastian. And Joe Malloy.
So you like, I erred on the side of short course people and you went more heavy like long course people. And then neither of us picked Tim Reed, who is the 70.3 champion.
Yes. Yeah, I felt like, so I feel like the women for short course are going, their weaknesses are minimized in this race, where I feel like the men for short course, their weaknesses are going to be maximized and it's going to show more. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. I mean, you just don't know, like,
yeah,
you know, that you could say, oh, the Cozumel people have had more time off and more time to train specifically for this, but that could also be a double-edged sword because maybe they just like kind of lost it. Like they were so focused on the Olympics and then the grand finale that they like couldn't even like bring themselves to go super, super hard in preparation for this type thing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like too much time off is bad.
Yes. I think it's just gonna be interesting to watch, and I don't think they're going to have coverage again. Like I think it's gonna be like last year they had like Snapchat or like Periscope. Going.
And I do think I saw Jordan Blanco posted on social media and Slow Twitch, I believe, that it is limited because the hurricane kind of screwed up some Wi-Fi connections and that type of stuff. So they have some challenges as far as that's concerned. So
yeah,
they're going to do their best.
This is a prime example of what a TV broadcast could do, though. Like if if they could get live TV broadcast for this, like what would it do?
Yeah, I think maybe they're trying to just build the race a little bit. I don't know, or I think I've heard Luke McKenzie say like live TV broadcasting is like mega expensive.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that's probably part of it too. So maybe they're trying to establish it, show that there's a market for it, and then maybe the cost goes down a little bit, or they get more sponsors or something like that. And I don't know how that stuff works, but I think that the post-production show is cheaper.
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, disappointing for all of us, but I'm sure they're going to do their best. And as we've seen on social media, no one's shy about posting updates on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. So I'm sure we'll hear.
Yes.
And we'll tell Ben Hobbs where to find it.
Sounds good. Thanks for everybody for joining us again.
All right. Thank you.